That's everything.
Bumping and banging.
Big Boy's Neighborhood. Ladies and gentlemen, Damian Marley is in the neighborhood, man. Welcome to the neighborhood, brother.
Yes, man. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to have you in the neighborhood.
Yes. Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Man, I know it is. You know what I'm saying? I was just hoping that you would say it. You know what I'm saying? But no, real talk, man. It is really a pleasure to have you here, man. And of course, when you sit down with Catch Damian, you know, I'm a fan first.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not just in the name. It's the way that you guys made sure that you continue to work and build your brand as well, man.
Thank you.
How important is that to you, man, to just make sure that Damian Marley is Damian Marley?
Well, it's important. I mean, it's something that happens really naturally. It's really most of the time when I get asked in interviews about my father and his legacy is really when I think about it. You know what I mean? Operating in my day-to-day life, I just be myself.
Right.
You know, which I am a product of my father, so
Yes,
I
sir.
will always represent him. But at the same time, I just be myself, you know?
Now, do you get a lot, Damian, where, and not that the gift and the curse, but is there a pressure when you have the last name Marley, or?
I don't think it's different from any musician. All musicians have to go through that point of, you know, being accepted and getting their music exposed. Being a Marley, I guess sometimes it would come on with curiosity. People would give us a first listen because of the name.
Right.
But nobody's going to continue listening to our music just because of our name. They have to enjoy the music in reality, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, it comes with high expectations, which I think has really pushed us to make sure that we present quality material, you know?
Yeah, because there is a level that you have to meet anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's crazy that I love how you work and y'all continue to work, because I'm going to tell you, if my dad was anything, I would have been like, I ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I would have been just chilling, Jack. Like, man, like, what are you talking about? Like, if Bob Marley was my pops, they'd be like, man, get in the studio. I'm like, no. Like, man, Bob Marley's my dad. What the F you talking about? You know? So now you're in a position where now, man, you continue to make music.
Yeah.
And my thing is, there's always kind of a little hiatus where somebody say, you know what, I'm between records right now. But you took a little bit of time before you got back in and said, I'm gonna go once again. Why such a long time between albums?
Well, really what happened was I did a lot of other projects. Just not solo albums.
Yourself.
So I did Distant Relatives with Nas.
Yes, sir.
I did a project named Super Heavy with Mick Jagger and a host of other musicians.
Mick Jagger, I think I know that guy.
You know?
I think I know that guy. So what made you get back in and say, it's time for me to go ahead and do my project?
Just the time opened up. It was just I was busy touring and not busy with those previous projects. So just the time I'd opened up now, and naturally it would be the next move for me to get back to my own
And Stony
material.
Hill is the album.
Yeah.
Released on your birthday?
Yeah.
Go ahead now, man. What did you do for your birthday?
We actually had the album launch.
Right, okay. Well, we didn't get invited to that, so that's why I'm
it was
asking.
in New York.
Well, you could have still invited us. What are you talking about?
They have played.
We've been in New York before. This motherfucker made it seem like it was in Istanbul or something. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't. I was just in New York a few days. I was probably there the night you had the party. Man, we're gonna have to stay in better contact with each other, Damian Marley. Good Lord have mercy, man. Are you gonna throw another one? No. And then I probably gotta wait 18 years for the next one.
Why, I hope not.
No, hell no, not at all, bro. So that was like a birthday gift to yourself, like, you know, my birthday's coming, Stony Hill is here. Let's have it kind of the same night.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we pushed back the album a few times, and then the dates that had opened up, option was to have it on my birthday, and I chose that. You know?
So do people say more of good album, congratulations, or do they say more of happy birthday that night?
Both.
Oh, okay.
It came hand in hand.
Did people bring anything?
No.
No. Man, that's crazy, man, because we knew you were coming, so I got this for you.
Oh, yes.
Right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a glue stick. And this one right here, man, we got this one from this is the one right here. Oh yeah, I bought this back from Africa.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
man.
one of a
So
kind.
please pass that down to him, man. And if you know what, the matter of fact, I'll present it to you later.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna need it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need it. So when you
Thanks
go
for
in,
the thought.
you know, my bad. I almost gave you the wrong one. This is right here. This is some Danny Trejo's hot sauce, man.
It's really good.
That will work.
Yeah, go ahead and get it. Pass that down to him, man. Go ahead and pass that down to him. I would give you something to get down, but you got your own strain. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah. So Stony Hill is that your strain as well? Is that your get down too?
Yeah. So,
Good Lord have mercy.
yeah, man. So we have a strain, the flour, and then we have the extract, the oil.
Oh, really? Now, talk to me about this, because I don't smoke, but people say that the oil is good for you. People like I have problems sleeping, and I always get cats say, "Man, you need to smoke or you need to rub some oil on you."
Yeah.
I've never smoked in my life.
Well, the oil I'm speaking about is the vape it.
Okay, the
so
vape. Okay,
it's still almost like
Oh,
smoking.
yeah,
but
I
they
can't do
also
that.
have, them also have like CBD creams and stuff like that you can rub. On
And
your
see,
body.
I hear a lot
work.
about the creams as well. Like man, get in, it helps your body, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And see, even if I get secondhand smoke, I
You
get
feel
contact highs. Hell yeah, man. I mean, like one time, are you familiar with a group called the Far Side?
Yeah.
They was smoking in front of me. I got butt naked, man. Damian Marley took off all my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was out there wilding out, bro.
Well, I remember not to smoke in front of you then.
Damian, what was it like being back in the studio with Steven? Like being back with him and working with your brother again?
Well, it never stopped. You know what I mean? We've been working together since my very first project, and we continue to do so on basically every project, that each other work on. You know what I mean? So it never really stopped. And of course, that's just really the same natural relationship of a big brother carrying over into studio. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now he's featured on the album again as well.
3 times.
Do you have to pay your brother for something like that, or is it brotherly love? Because I want to get paid.
No,
Oh, okay,
no,
okay. So
definitely
you don't?
not.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to get paid either. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, who would pay their brother? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. So we're going into the studio, actually doing your own album. Is there more of a pressure because, of course, between albums, you still kept your name in public. We still knew what was going down with you.
Yeah.
But now when you go back in, it's like, well, damn, I got to kind of do everything myself. Is there a good pressure there?
Yeah. I mean, at first, I guess I was, anticipating it so much. It took me a while to kind of get in my groove. But once I kind of got there,
But
I
you
wasn't
never
overthinking.
disappeared from any of that. So I'm pretty sure it's easy to just get back in and do your own.
Yeah, we still remain in the studios throughout, so yeah.
Do you go ahead, honey?
So I was going to say, what do you think influenced you the most during this album?
Probably my son.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? That's one of the big differences between this album and previous records.
How old is your
Dad
son?
now.
He's 7 now.
7. I heard that.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Does he know that his dad is Damian Marley?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy when they figure it out. Huh? Like at first, my son used to just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And then they turn a corner where it's like,
No, he thinks he's a star. He comes on stage with me and rhymes and everything. He
That's
thinks
so
he's a
awesome.
star.
that's dope. You know what it
That's
is,
so
man?
awesome.
Keep him doing that because by the time he get 11, you could just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could just chill.
Yeah, you can just chill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like,
Yeah.
man, what's your son's name?
He's Elijah.
I'd be like, Elijah. Get out there, man.
Yeah.
You know that's a very powerful name as
Yes,
well,
it
man.
is.
Does he have a sense of who his grandfather is as well?
Yeah, somewhat, yes.
Really though,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Is it like an automatic pass kind of when you walk through anywhere in Jamaica with the last name Marley?
It's an automatic appreciation.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And respect.
Man, like and don't take this the wrong way, please, because this is offensive. But I do want to take a couple pictures with you. So when I do go back to Jamaica, I want to wear that around my neck like a lemon.
Like, put on a
No
t-shirt.
problem.
Hell yeah.
It's a picture of a t-shirt.
I'm gonna be all in there, like man.
Come on, guys.
Can I get the curtain?
Yeah.
He got the Marley. Like, get your black ass. You ain't no Marley. You know what I'm saying? Going there with my faking Jamaican. They be like, man.
You're going to have a girl a little bit of hair, though.
I'm
You wear
gonna
the
be
fake
real
one.
cheesy though, Damien. I'm gonna go get the fake ass. I'm gonna get the tourist little
The
shit
wig.
with the
Yeah, the wig.
I'm
Rip
gonna
it right
definitely get
off.
my ass rolling in there with something like that, bro. So do you think your son has that gift also? It's in the bloodstream.
He's talented. He plays drums and he loves it, So if he sticks with it and chooses to do so, I think so.
Do you record more in the States or do you record more in Jamaica?
Well, I've recently in the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you live out here a little bit more now? Or?
Yeah, spend a whole heap of time in Miami.
Miami. Oh, you don't want to live out here with us, huh?
No, I did a lot of recording here for the album also.
Why I never seen you anywhere for a person that's been out here, for a person that had, you didn't invite us to your party.
Yep.
Why we never seen you? Is it like a beef between us that
was
I don't
wondering
know?
how I've never seen you. I was wondering the same thing.
Oh, you saying I ain't in the
This
streets?
is your city.
He's saying I ain't in the streets. I guess it would it be in my city. I guess I should kind of take you around. Yeah. You know what it is, Damian Marley? I've been a bad host, man. I've been a bad, and I'm trying to reflect all this negativity on you when it's really on me. I need to put the mirror in my face.
Exactly.
Now, when you go into Stony Hill, first, why the album title Stony Hill? Explain
That's
that.
where I grew up in Jamaica. And it's kind of the privileged side of town. So I wanted to show that part of my history also.
I heard that. Now, when you say privileged side of town, do people don't get upset with you as far as like, oh, that's privilege? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, there's a class differential in Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? In that kind of case. But exactly what I'm trying to do now is help to bridge that gap, you know?
I heard that, man. And the strain is called Stony Hill as well, paying homage back to home
So
plate.
Jamaica also, yeah.
And so how does one, like, do you only smoke Stony Hill?
No, but as much as possible.
I heard that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you have anything on you now?
Yeah, you're downstairs, yeah.
Go ahead now. Do you want to smoke me out for the first time?
Do
No.
it.
Thank
Because
you.
you
No,
said
what do you
that you
mean?
was gonna-
I said do
She
it.
said do it. What
Well,
are you
I didn't
talking
say do
about?
it.
Why
I was like,
not?
that was nice of him to respect
Remember the
the
far
fact that
side?
we've never
Remember the far
had.
side
Yes,
story?
there it is. He don't want to see
You
me
don't wanna
naked.
see,
you know what I'm saying?
that's
That's
right.
all I need. He be on stage. I'm like, oh, speaking the thing at the audience. You don't want that.
David's like, no thanks.
Hey man, Damian Marley ain't gonna never come back here. You know what I'm saying? The relationship with Jay-Z. What is that relationship like?
I'm a fan of his music. I got the opportunity to work with him for the first time recently, so that was great. We also, I guess you could say, we have a business relationship through Tidal. He invited me to be a part of that, so that's really what it is.
When the news came out that you guys were working, well, there was speculation. There was like, oh my gosh, she's working with Damian. Da, da, da. Were people hitting you up trying to get information? Because
Yeah.
we didn't have very much information that Jay-Z had an actual album that he was working on at the
Yes,
time.
some pictures came out on the net, and then shortly after that, I was doing some interviews, and people were asking me, but of course, I kind of had to diplomatically not really answer too much.
Does that get hard sometimes? Because you might.
But that's the first time I ever really had to do something like
Really?
that.
Right.
Okay.
You know?
Had to hold it close to you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never even called us to let us know, so that was good.
Yeah,
That
thanks.
you kept that secret.
You would
to
have blown it up.
Yeah. You know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
Give me the
B, don't
exclusive.
tell nobody. I got you. Is he gone? Man, you know Damian Marley doing a record with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
Is there any pressure to walking into the studio with Jay-Z?
No, it was cool. I mean, first of all, he kind of had the idea of what he wanted before, he even called me.
Yeah,
So, and then he just said, go ahead and freestyle on the beat for a bit. And they used my freestyle and cut it up and made my verse. So it was cool.
Now, and you guys shot the video. You shot it home plate.
Yeah, in Jamaica, we went to Jamaica to get the visuals. We recorded the song here in LA and we did the visuals in Jamaica.
Man, that got to be lovely though.
Yeah,
That's
man.
like parting the Red Sea out there, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Show you right.
Damien, how did the idea of purchasing Coalinga come about? Like, how did that, like, I think that is so genius. Like,
you.
just like everything that it represents, like how people used to be in prison there for
Oh, my
smoking
God,
weed
man.
and possibly selling weed. And now, like, weed, that's where weed is coming out of.
For sure. Well, the idea really came from just needing a facility to grow. And the prison was on the market. So it wasn't really that anyone was searching for a prison in particular, but it was just a piece of real estate that was available and was the right size for what, the people
You didn't
wanted
think
to do.
about going
so
to go
dope.
buy a prison?
No,
like
who thinks about that? I mean-
I think I would be nervous. Not like when my realtor say, "Man, go find me a prison."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, how ironic is that?
Yes.
That
Super ironic.
that people were
Yes.
probably locked up in there
Not
for the
probably.
same
Definitely
for the
were.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And then here you go, and you're like, man, no, we gonna own it. What's in there right now?
Well, right now we're doing some extracts in there and we're just about to start a grow, but they had to do some renovations to the electricity because obviously it was
Yeah.
built
Right.
for, to be a prison. So they had to-
77,000 square feet.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I want to
Lord
visit.
have
Big place, man. It's nice. We did the video for Medication, one of my singles.
saw.
We did
In
the
there.
video in the prison, yeah.
So
Isn't there
you
like a
can
prison right
really
there?
walk in the prison and be like, hey, man, I own this.
Yeah.
And let yourself out when you want
Smoking
to.
here.
Yeah. I'm supposed to have an office there eventually.
That's
so-
dope. Put a little studio in there.
Yeah.
Be like, man, by the time you come out, your dreads be under your feet. Like, man,
Yeah.
he been in that lab, Jack. Damien been in
Spent
there.
years.
Yeah. Like, when you coming out? Out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But I own it. Like, man, you smell good. Oh, it's a blessing in there,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
We just cut down the crops,
Trust me, the energy in there was weird. Especially the first time we visited, there was still a lot of leftover gear. So you go in a prison and you still see the riot gear and stuff like
Really?
that. So it was
So when you bought it all,
Everything.
Jack.
Yeah,
it was
Do you have a riot
experience.
gear now?
No, we got
I'll be running up into other people's weed spots, be like, give me all this!
We got
Give me all this! You know what I'm saying? Hell
it would
yeah.
come in helpful in that instance.
But
yeah.
you can't get away with it because they'd be like, man, who was it? Be like, man, it was Damian Marley.
Yeah, because it was prison riot gear.
Like, I'm sure it was, man. Like, how do you know, man? Trust me, it was Damian. Then you also part owner of High Times magazine as well.
Yeah, we have some shares in that. Yeah.
Go ahead now.
Taking over.
So everything
that way he put his
green,
own
huh?
in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it'd be like, man, look at this 9 pages of Damian Marley. What the fuck is going on here? But no, man. But I see as far as not just music, man, that you are also you make sure that you become a brand.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of cats kind of miss. You know, and then there's equity, not just the Marley name, but just being Damian Marley. There's equity in that name as well.
Yeah.
So just the way that you navigating, bro, and the way that you making sure that the just the business side is also something that give us longevity, man.
Yeah,
So
man, thank you.
If I may, a lot of the times people will, when they have children, other people come up to them and say, oh, you have your mother's eyes, or oh, you have your father's voice. Is there one particular thing that people that knew your father tell you that you had similarities of?
Yeah, I mean, people will say I look like him, you know, in that kind of case. But that's something that all of us here
Yeah.
from time.
Right, yeah,
all of us have gone through. You look the most like your father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that kind of case, you know, one of the most important lessons that I think we've taken away is that he was very serious about his work. You know what I mean? And even that, how we were mentioning earlier, we don't just take things for granted or just, you know, not work.
Yeah.
You know, his work ethic is something. Even growing up, my mother would be one of her favorite things to tell me is how serious he took his work. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so do you think that that's why you work as hard as you work as well?
One of the reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of the reasons, because like I said, we grew up with that mentality.
Man, so when you do get into the booth and you start recording, you're in a position, Damian Marley, where I think you could pick up the phone and call people to do anything for you as well. Do you try to stay away from being extremely heavy on collabs, or do you just say, okay, well, you know what, let me grab this one, I'm good with this one?
For the most part, how we approach collaborations is really the music kind of speak for itself. You know what I mean? So if we're hearing a particular artist on a song that we have, or we think a beat might suit a particular artist,
Right.
that's usually how we go about reaching out to them. You know what I mean?
What artists today do you enjoy?
Well, I mean, listen to a lot of what's just popular. In Jamaica, you have a lot of young talent that I'm really checking out right
Oh, like
now.
who?
You know, like Chronics and Kabaka Pyramid. You know, Jesse Ryle. You have a few upcoming that I'm really into. You know,
What's the longest you ever went without smoking?
hours.
Hours.
Yeah, like if I take a long flight
Like
or
when-
something. Like,
Like when you can't, like damn.
Yeah, when I'm sleeping.
Right. Do you smoke every day, Damian?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
And how old were you when you first started smoking?
I was in my teens. I can't say which year exactly, but I was in my teens. And I want to say still
Was
at
it
the same
earlier,
time.
close to 12, like 13, or was it close to 20?
No, more like closer to 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it
13, 14.
was it with your brothers or like with friends? Like when was the first time?
Both. I mean, you know, just pinching a joint here and there. And, you know, doing the thing. But at that time, of course, it wasn't a habit. It would be like once every now and
Right.
then. you
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right.
And I must say, within saying that too, I must say that I don't encourage young people to smoke. You know,
Right.
even if
Love
you
that.
want to enjoy herb, it's better you eat it or something
Really?
like that, because smoking is not a good habit. You know?
Eating it scares me though.
What, the edibles?
Yes, because not everybody
it's very
makes them
strong
the
that way.
same.
Yeah, you got to know
Very
what it
strong
is,
that
Like
way.
too.
who's
Yeah.
making it, how they're making it. Like I've had some really bad edibles, and I'm just
So
like, what is this?
would you do an edible, like say for instance you got an international flight and you can't smoke?
Yeah.
Would you do an edible on the plane?
Yeah.
Or is
but
it a different high for you?
no, I mean, yeah, I might do a little bit of edible, but it still doesn't take away the craving of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Of that habit, you know?
Man.
Yeah.
All right, I got to smoke with you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, do it.
I got to smoke with you.
Do
I'm gonna
it.
take
I don't know if he
I'm gonna
wants
take my
one
shirt
though.
off now.
Just one puff.
You
Just
know what you
one.
are.
All right, but don't inhale.
Just one puff.
Be like
Yeah,
President
dude,
Bill
don't
Clinton. Be
catch
like, yeah, but I didn't inhale.
Just one
I
puff.
love how you're look at everybody
They're co-signing
shaking their
it. See?
head.
No,
We'll take a
I'm
vote.
with you, babe.
Thank you,
We'll take a
Natalia.
vote. I got you.
Thank
Let's
you.
take
I
a
got you.
vote.
Okay, well let's take a vote then.
Okay,
Who think
all
that
in
my
favor?
first puff should be with Damian Marley?
I.
All righty, who think
Damn.
it shouldn't be? I.
I-
Oh my God.
Part, Dr. Naked
There it
part.
is. You
Where they
know.
crazy from.
You know what it was, man?
Yeah.
I just wanted to. It was a test.
You wanted to see?
You're
who's-
fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Definitely fired.
Now you guys know
started
that
it.
I don't do that. And look how,
Peer pressure? Come
you
on.
know what I'm
guys.
saying?
It's Damian Marley.
Okay. Oh, it's Damian Marley.
Wow.
Damien voted no.
Do you know how many times when people say, "Man, you should smoke with the Far Side"? I didn't smoke with the Far Side.
No, it's different. though.
No.
Talking
Method Man,
about?
Snoop Dogg, Red Man, Be Real from
Snoop, yeah.
Cypress.
Be Real,
Like,
yeah.
you
Be
know how
Real.
many joints done came
Passed
my
you
way?
by.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Yo, you know, as you
But a
mentioned,
Marley?
Be Real, I must, hey, you know,
I'm
so you mentioned Be Real, and I must ask you, because I saw this thing on the internet where you
Oh my
and him.
God.
Was that
I
an
love
April?
this.
Was that a joke or was that
It was
for
an
real?
April Fool's joke.
Yo, that was
I
hard.
love
That was hard, bro.
Hey man, but let me me tell you what's all. Thank you, Damian. He knows my work. Let me tell you what's crazy about that, Damian Marley. And I keep saying your name because I want people to know you here. It was crazy. We created a April Fool's joke, B Real and I, and we were just like, oh, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And we thought, with the internet, it just died that day, but the internet keeps bringing it back up.
That was tough.
And I get asked all the time,
That was
like,
a
man,
tough one.
what happened with you and B Real?
Yeah.
And man, B Real always been my guy.
Yeah.
And it was just something that we did a April Fool's prank, and it would not get away.
Legendary.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. We both come from legendary clubs. You know what I'm saying? You're Marley. I'm April
Big
Fool
boy.
prank. Big boy. Yeah, there it is right there.
April
I'm
Fool.
so glad that you know my work, man, ladies and gentlemen.
Damian, off of Stony Hill, do you have like a favorite track on the album?
I've been asked this question a couple of times. Not a favorite to listen to, but there's one that's kind of a little bit sentimental, which would be So a Child May Follow. It kind of reminds me of my nephews and nieces who are like in their late teens, early 20s. And I had a close friend of mine who passed away when I was working on the song. So you have a few lines in the song that's kind of dedicated to him. So when I hear the song, it reminds me of him, Yeah.
Do you listen to your own music?
And once it comes out, not too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you listen to Bob Marley, your dad's music?
Of course, yeah.
Do you
Love
ever
his
walk
music.
in some place and people see you and they think that they have to throw some Bob Marley on?
All the while.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Restaurants,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bob Marley and the Wailers right now.
Yeah.
Let's play that.
Yo, just happen to have it on, man. That's the same with me. I walk into like a clothing store or whatever, and if they're not listening to the station,
They'll put it on.
They'll put it on, or they'll put it. If I get in the car, they're like, oh, and I'm like, man, I want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably want to hear Pops, but I don't want to sit down and just listen to myself or listen to the
course,
station
of course.
all the time. And being that I am, a legend. You know what I'm saying? And I am legendary.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
are.
to say it because nobody else said it.
Yeah.
Of course you
You
are.
know,
You're a
being
legend.
that I am, I putting your homie over here to sleep. You're like, man, he was like, Big, stop sucking your own dick. You're not a legend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and Dr. Dre not a doctor either. You know what I'm saying? So the
we all
legendary
go with
Big
it.
Boy is up in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen, with the legendary
Yes.
Damian Marley.
Yes.
If it wasn't music, what would it be, Damian Marley?
Music related, probably just on the business side.
Okay, so it'd be something with entertainment.
Yeah,
Do
man.
you play any sports?
Soccer.
Really though?
Yeah.
And we were asking this before you came in. For one, I think your soccer game is suspect, but we'll let you think you can play soccer. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you come by the crib and play my son? My son gets down in soccer.
Oh, yeah?
Really, I just want you to come by the house.
Just come.
Finding
You know
any
what
way
I'm
to
saying?
bring him over.
You ever went in somewhere
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
invite you,
comedian.
you get somewhere they invite you and then they just happen to have your instrumental and a mic. You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh my God, look at this, man. Look who popped
Set
into my
up.
wedding. Yeah. Here you go, man. Just happen to have a spotlight right here. So your soccer game is good?
Yeah, man.
Really though?
Yeah, man.
Man, your hair is extremely long. And I was
Very
asking, like, man,
long.
did you started growing it from birth? And he was like, no, it's been kind of like after high school.
Yeah.
What gets in the way with that kind of hair?
I mean, not much. You kind of figure it out. For example, even when I'm playing soccer, I get my hair, I put it in a knapsack, and put the knapsack on my back, so that way my hair isn't dangling and stuff. So you kind of figure out little tricks to get around stuff.
So do you do the knapsack thing if you're on the toilet, or do you just take it and kind of throw it around like a little?
Now you're getting too personal.
Personal. We're getting personal again.
What if it's cold like you in New York? Do you take it and wrap it around your neck like a scarf?
Sometimes.
See what I'm saying? We don't know.
Practical.
These are real
All kinds
questions
of
right here.
things.
Alrighty. Now, would you ever cut your hair
Yeah.
to the skin? What would it?
No,
what-
not to the skin, but I mean, for example, I've had to take a few inches off of it because it started to get, started to
right,
touch
so
the
it can
ground.
stay healthy and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Do you know how much your hair weighs?
No. Not
should
in-
weigh
no,
it.
Not exactly.
What we gonna weigh it on?
I
mean,
know.
you know what I'm saying?
We
Gotta lay
should,
down
but
and
we
put
don't
it on
have
the
anything to
scale.
weigh it on.
Yeah.
We don't have a
Feels
scale.
like
It just seemed like
I'm
me.
sure it's a couple pounds though.
yeah.
I'm because it's crazy because I've had my hair like this for so long that I'm wondering like you gotta.
You don't have any hair. What do you mean you have your hair like that? You've had your
Oh, now
your
look!
skin
Oh,
like that.
look who's trying to hurt my
No, I'm
feelings.
coming back at you. I'm coming back at you.
The personal jab.
Now he gonna have the Stony Hill, like, you know how they re-strip their album, gonna have a comedy bits on it too. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now, Damian Marley. Thank you so much. But you know when you have, I guess there's certain things that you gotta think that's your norm, and out of my norm, I wouldn't know like, oh, this is what I got to do. If I want to, if I want to play soccer, I got to put it in a knapsack.
Right.
If I, you know what I'm saying?
Because even like some people say, it pressures my neck. But then again, I always explain to people it didn't grow overnight, so my neck kind of grew accustomed to the weight also, you know.
Go ahead now. And probably when you smashing, it probably be all in the girl's face and everything. You're like, baby, you know what I'm saying? What the hell is going on
like a jungle out there.
Yeah. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep them going under. Damian Marley, definitely want to thank you for coming into the neighborhood and hanging out with us, man. Show you're right, man.
Congratulations.
And speak life. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead with your bad. No, but I appreciate you coming in, man. And like we say, we're a fan first.
Thank you.
And you came in, man. We had such a good time with you, bro. And thank you for just laughing and having fun. Now, I know you probably may not come back, but thank you for this time that you did give us.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.
He didn't say I'm coming back.
Right, he didn't.
No, I'm going to
Co-signed on
consider that one. Think about it.
Yeah.
Speaking about
like,
it,
let me at least get in the elevator. You know what I'm saying? He gonna walk out of here. He gonna get with his people. He gonna get with Bob. He's gonna be like, hey, man, who was that guy? Who was he? I wanted to stop him like 3 times. What, do you get a lot of people that's faking Jamaican?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to come in. When you came in, I was like, I don't think I want to do my
man,
Jamaican accent.
Irie man.
Yeah. Like Peter that met you when you walked in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we got a guy named Peter from sales, man. Soon as Damian came in, he was like, hey, man, what's up, my brother? I was like,
he's bald.
Yeah, say what now?
And he's bald.
Yeah. You see, when we had you on the calendar, he was trying to grow his hair. He was like, man, I can't even get my dreads in a week. Yeah. He's like, God damn it. Like, man, that's why when you first came in, he was like this, trying to cover his head up.
You should wear a cap.
Yeah. But Damian, I appreciate you coming into the neighborhood, man. Once again, Stony Hill is available for you guys right now. And hopefully, God willing, man, we'll see you in the neighborhood again.
Thank you.
Damian Marley in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood.